What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Welcome everybody to this iMessage MERN build, because today we are going to be building with the MERN stack Apple's one of the most popular application. So stick with me, guys, till the very end, because this is going to be huge. All right, let's actually go ahead, and I think I can go ahead and demo this app to you. So if you guys were here last Friday with Sunny, you were able to build this thing using Firebase and the other one, React and Redux, of course. So like always, I have the GitHub link down below in the description. So if you guys are interested and you guys want to go ahead and watch it, watch it or actually download it, so clone the project, let's go ahead. In the description, the GitHub link should be good. I will be with there, guys, in any second with the GitHub. Hey, what is up, Rukia? How's it going? Welcoming everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah. What is up, Garrett? How's it going? Mehmet, my name is David. How's it going? Yo, Radu. Okay, before yeah, Sihan, yeah, I am going to build. Hey, Priyanshu, what is up? So guys, if you don't know Priyanshu, but I'm sure you guys do know him, he is an awesome student of our flagship course, Profit with JavaScript, and he is actually has such a great energy that it's over everything. All right, so let's actually dive into today's build, but first let's take a look at how it is actually gonna look like. Okay, I just adjusted a bit on my audio, and now should be good. Okay, I'm sharing my screen, and guys, this is the iMessage clone that you already know and like. And let me move myself to the right side of the image. Now, this is actually uses Google authentication. We can actually later on dive into how to do signing with Apple using Firebase, because that's another awesome thing. And I'm just gonna go ahead, sign in here. Hey, and we just got our very first donation. Thank you so much, Malika. We were just on a call today, so she literally knows what's going on. Yes, it is going to be amazing. And guys, if you are pumped, let me know down below in the chat, because this is an awesome build. Okay, and GN Gaming asks for a shout out. There you go, bro. And here we go. Okay, now let's actually go back to the iMessage clone. So you guys should actually be able to see it. I'm gonna zoom in a tiny bit. So this is literally how it is working. This actually uses Pusher so that it is actually real time. And I'm just gonna go and type a tiny little welcome message for everybody who has joined, but I mean, I actually have, but yeah, there we go. So let's just type in "what's up, guys," and a rocket emoji, and it should be there. There we go. So as you guys actually saw it, it updates instantly. It pops in there, and it also updates here as well. And now if I go to the YouTube thread, let's go ahead and type in some stuff like I don't know, like yo, and it should be good. And now it pops in here as well and updates here as well. And of course we can go ahead and literally do the add new message and all that stuff. And we are also gonna be using welcome, dude, boom. And we are also gonna be using MongoDB and all that stuff that you guys are actually used to. So let's actually go into the MongoDB, which shows literally nothing, but let's go ahead and refresh everything. And here we go. This is literally how it looks like. So let's actually go ahead and build this thing. Guys, who is pumped and who is ready to build the iMessage clone using React, Redux, MongoDB, ExpressJS, NodeJS, and the full MERN stack to build today's iMessage clone and put it on their portfolio? Let me know if you guys are ready. I want to see it in the chat that you guys are going crazy and you guys want to build this and you guys want to be one of the 5,000 people that are going to get jobs as developer this year, because we set it ourselves the goal that we want to help 5,000 people at least by the end of 2020 to get jobs as developers. Let's go, guys. Show some love in the comment section down below. Let me know who is excited, who is pumped, and who's ready. Okay, Mohammed says go ahead. Yes, we got Psycho Coder in the house. Yo, what's up? Prashun says the iMessage clone looks good. Yes, it does. Sunny, our front-end master ninja, built this thing. So it's definitely, of course, it looks cool. Yeah. Radu says I converted 4 clones to MEVN using Vue. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Icon 101 says whoa, super hyped. Nice. All right. And let's actually go ahead and dive into this thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to this YouTube video that you guys are watching so that I can show you guys what is going on and how I will help you guys go ahead and help you guys with this thing. All right, so on to back to Safari. Let's go ahead and open up the video, yeah, with all the ads and all that stuff. Now, guys, if you already know, this is the link that you guys are looking for. It should be working, but I'm just gonna go ahead and test it out. So let's actually, everybody go ahead and click this link and let's open up GitHub so that we can, yeah, please make Airbnb and Twitter MERN clone. Awesome. We definitely will. In the coming, one of the coming builds is going to be that. Okay. Yeah. You wouldn't use Firebase for this build? That's actually an awesome question. So I personally would use Firebase, but this is more like, these sessions are more like to provide you guys as much value as possible so that you guys can go ahead and get jobs as developers this year. So that's why we are transforming everything to the MERN stack as well. And we want to teach you guys as much backend knowledge and all that stuff as possible. All right. So my advice is always, and I think we are even on this inside of Clever Programmer team, that actually you should try and go ahead and use Firebase as much as possible. And when there is a feature that you cannot do in Firebase, or when you need backend, that's when you need to introduce backend and all that stuff. Also, the other thing is MongoDB is much more popular. Yeah, I will explain MERN in just a sec. Someone asked from Facebook. I'm just gonna put it up here so that I don't forget it. So. And the other reason that we are teaching you guys this much MongoDB and the MERN stack and all that stuff, like what you guys can see here. Oops, wrong button. So this is actually the MongoDB. So this is the reason why we are showing you guys this much of this thing, that because This is more like in demand inside of a job. Okay, so this is required, and Firebase is not that popular, so we just want to help you guys. All right. And what is MERN? I don't understand that. So MERN actually stands for MongoDB, ExpressJS, ReactJS, and NodeJS. Okay, so this is literally the tech that we will be using today. Okay, I will be drawing it out in just a bit. Okay, now let's actually go ahead. Hi Victoria from Germany, by the way. And so guys, as I showed you guys, the link is down below in the description. Go ahead and go to this GitHub link, hit that green button, copy this message or this link actually. Copy this, and let's go ahead and everybody open up a terminal. And I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in a bit. And here we go. Hey, first let's do Amazon MERN stack. Yes, my man, we will do it. Okay. Now, what we will be doing is just pretty much just cloning this project, which is the starter project. Okay. Now, let's actually go ahead and type in git clone and paste the link that we got, and that will do the work for us. And in the background, you can already see that it created a folder for me. Okay. And here we go. We should be good. And what another thing that you guys want to do is pretty much just create a new folder, and that will contain all the backend. All right. So what we will do is say, this is going to be the front end. So front end today. So it's going to be iMessage front end. And the other folder is going to be the iMessage backend. All right. Whoops. Message backend. Here we go. So literally we have two folders, and now we can go ahead and start installing all the dependencies that we will be using today. And we have 240 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Let me know in the chat if you guys are excited and if you guys are ready to build today's iMessage clone. Okay, so what I will be doing is pretty much just list out whatever we have, and and let's actually go ahead, copy this, open up a new terminal, and I'm just gonna paste it in here so that I am in that folder. And why are you using ZSH? Why not git bash? Personal preference, my friend. Okay, that's literally it. Okay, and what I will be typing in here is pretty much npm I, which stands for npm install, and that will go ahead and pop in all the React dependencies that I will need. And I will also open up a VS Code, which should be, yes, we have it here. And on the backend side, I will go into that folder, and what I will be doing is pretty much start the git version control, then set up the node package, and yeah, that will be pretty much it. So what I will be doing is just type in here git init. That will start up my git version control. We are on the master branch, and what I will be doing is just type in npm init, and that will throw a couple of questions at me, how I want to set up this project. And so we got the package name, of course, we got some version, we got the description, which is we can just leave all this stuff out and don't worry about them. And one thing though is the entry point, which should be server.js, and the other, yeah, and that will be pretty much it. Yeah, of course you can go and type in your name into the author, but other than that, you don't have to worry about any of these. And with that done, we have our package.json file, which I should be zooming into. Okay, this should be good. And I have a midsum exam from the day after tomorrow, but I couldn't resist myself from watching this build. Let's go, my man. Let's go. Okay. So what I will be doing is pretty much just add a type, which will be a module, and I will also add a start script. Whoops. I will also add a start script, which will be node server.js, and that will pretty much do all the work for us when we are deploying this application. All right, now let's save this file. Let's go back to the terminal, and we actually have 2 or 3 dependencies that we will need to install right now. And one of them is, of course, Express. The other one is Mongoose, which we will be using to connect to MongoDB. And we will also add Pusher, okay? So Pusher is pretty much just an engine that we are using to make this application real time, okay? All right, and let me just run through the comment section if there is any good question I can answer. Okay, here we go. All right, so next up, we will be just installing all these dependencies, and I'm just gonna go ahead and type in here npm I express mongoose and pusher. That's pretty much it. That's, oh, and of course we will need the course so that we will be able to add the course headers, of course. All right, and that is going to be done in just a second. This is pretty fast actually, and what I will be doing is open up a new terminal, and I will start up the node server. It's actually going to crash a couple of times for now, but don't worry about it. Once we add the server.js file, we will be able to run this. Okay, now I see a lot of questions regarding the, hey Lucy, what's up? Regarding this stack that we are going to use today. So let me go ahead and quickly draw it up on a board. Oops. So I will just add the server.js file, and let's go ahead and demo everything. Okay, now what we will have is what we already have is actually a better way. This is the front end that we already have. All right, so this is the front end with React and Redux. Okay, this is made by Sunny. All right, we are not going to worry about this today. We have it ready. Next up, what we will actually work with is going to be the backend. All right, and that is going to be the juicy, the more technical part. All right, because the front end looks cool, has a ton of technology behind it, especially if you're using something like Firebase, but the backend is the hardcore technical stuff. All right, and let's actually, yeah, so on the backend we are gonna be using the most popular backend JavaScript runtime, which is NodeJS. And we will also use server.js, which is inside of Node.js. And oops, okay, so we will use, yeah, I messed up this drawing. So we will use Node.js for the backend. We will also use inside of that, which is called server or express.js. Express.js. That is actually the this is essentially the server-side JavaScript. All right, that's the easiest way. And we will also use MongoDB, right? MongoDB, and to connect between the server and the database, we are going to use something called Mongoose. Okay, so this is some badass tool. This is going to make the whole connection super easy and super fast. And yeah, that's pretty much the backend stack. And just so you guys see, This is going to be the connection between the front end and the back end, and we are going to be using something called APIs. All right, these are going to be REST APIs. And yeah, you guys are going to pick it up as we go. Okay, boom, and yeah, here we go. All right, now with that said, let's go, guys, and let me know if you guys are ready, and if you guys are ready and pumped up to start today's build, the iMessage clone using the MERN stack. Okay, let me know. I want to see it in the comments. I want to see them rolling. And yeah, okay, can you please make your YouTube thumbnail small? It's blocking the backend. Not sure what do you mean. Skype MERN stack build with voice and video call function. I'm not sure if we are going to do Skype, but I am actually planning to do FaceTime, which is essentially the same, but you know. So if you guys are pumped about the FaceTime build with real-time video, so like a real-time chatter app using the MERN stack, let's go ahead and drop some fire in the chat. Okay, now we will be going ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and pretty much let's go ahead and start today's build. Now, one thing though that I want to add is a git ignore file. Otherwise my whole GitHub is going to be like jacked with all the node modules. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, we reduced everything in the stash. Ooh, okay, arrow. Okay, so that's it, and we can close up the git ignore. Next up, what we will be doing, yeah, FaceTime do it. Okay, we will. And yeah, okay, and what I will be doing is pretty much just lay out the whole application, how it's going to be built up over here, and then we will go ahead and actually do it. Okay, so first we will be importing everything that we will need. Then we will of course have some app config, so that's where we will create our instance. We will set the port, we will set the pusher and all that stuff. Next up, what we will be doing is pretty much just add the middlewares. Let me okay, okay, yeah, FaceTime. All right. That's the energy that I want to see in the chat, guys. Let's go ahead and drop some fire. Okay, exactly. Okay, text now clone. I don't know what text now is. Is my Instagram handle, by the way, out? Oh, it's not. So boom, this is my Instagram account. Let's go ahead and drop me any messages or any requests that you guys want to actually have on your portfolio, whatever apps you guys want. Like literally text me up. I will be responding to all of them by the end of today, hopefully. And yeah, so just drop me anything that you guys want to. Okay, okay, let's actually go back, and okay, so we will add the middlewares, and then we will do some kind of db config, and then we will do the API routes, and we will also have the listening part. All right, whoops, damn, there we go. All right, super quickly, let's just run through how do we set up the backend part. So this is going to be we are going to be touching the key points. Okay, and with that said, yeah, I already see the messages coming in. Nice. All right, And yeah, I see that everybody is asking to slow down a bit because we got complete beginners. All right, I'm going to slow down a bit and let's actually continue with that slower down speed. So now what I will be doing is importing all the dependencies that we have installed. All right. So as you guys remember, we have installed Express, Mongoose, Pusher, and Course. So guys, if you don't know what these are, Express is the server-side JavaScript. Mongoose is a tool, is an awesome tool, and it's going to make our connection to the MongoDB database super easy. Pusher is going to make our app real-time, and Course is just pretty much the course headers. It's like access control and all that stuff. All right. Now, what we will be doing is let's go ahead and import it. I am using the ES7 snippets. So if you guys just go ahead and type ES7 in the extensions, this is what will pop up. Let's go ahead, and I actually highly recommend everybody goes ahead and installs this because this is an awesome tool, and I'm gonna be using the these snippets. All right, so I'm just gonna import everything and let's start with Express. So I'm going to import Express from Express, of course, then Mongoose, and again, and we also have the Pusher and the Course, just like that. And now what I will be doing is pretty much just create an the app instance, which is pretty much like declaring a variable, like syntactically, okay? Okay, now I will be typing in const app equals express, and that will essentially create our app instance. And next up, I will be defining which port is it going to be running on. So depending on if it is going to be a production or some kind of server environment where it is predefined which instance runs on which port, we want to go with that port. Otherwise, if you're running it locally, we will be running it on the 9000th port. Okay, so let's go. We are typing in port equals process the environment and port, and we will run it on the 9000th port. All right. Next up, let's import the middlewares. Otherwise, we will be forgetting it and we will be like, oh my God, what is happening? But because we are importing them now, we're going to be cool. So two things that we will be importing. One of them is going to give our app the ability to work with JSON files because with APIs, we are going to be working with the JSON files. All right. And the other one is going to be pretty much the course headers. And it's just going to be a super easy way to do it. Okay. Sihan, I hope I spelled your name correctly or pronounced, sorry. I don't know, Redux, should I continue watching? 100%. We are not going to be actually building up Redux. We are just going to be using whatever Sunny has built for us, okay? So if you guys don't know any front-end, any React, any Redux, not a problem. We are going to, like this video is more, is focused on the backend, okay? If you guys are interested, let's go ahead and back last Friday, I think, Sunny went live with this and built the front end part, okay? So if you guys want to go ahead and learn React and Redux, I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and watches that video afterwards, okay? All right, now let's go back and let's actually add all the middlewares that we are going to be using today. So let's say, hey, what's up, Alexandros? So we will be using the course, and that will pretty much enable all of them. Yes, you can ask me tomorrow, whenever you want to. And we will be saying app.use, oops, and we will add the express .json ability. Okay, now so next up, what we will be doing is, let's not focus on the DB for now. Let's just go ahead and create an API route, which is essentially not going to do anything super fancy. It's just going to say hello clever programmers. All right, so oops. So what this does is, actually, if you are calling the app with a get methodology on the root, it's going to fire off a function which will set the response status to 200, which in server language it actually means okay, and we are going to send back hello clever programmers. All right, so this actually should be working. And the other thing that we will do is pretty much say that the app should listen on the port that we defined up here, and oops, once it actually is able to listen, we are going to go ahead and console log that we are listening on whatever port we are at. Humble is me says, I am 60% through JavaScript. What do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, I learned. Okay, and Nikhil says, let's do it. That's amazing. Oh, okay, let's do it. It says, just started JavaScript course. And then, okay. All right. Let's go ahead and test this thing out. And I will be using an app called Postman, which is somewhere around here. And Postman is essentially going to give me the ability to go ahead and check out on the APIs that I am working with. So we pretty much, what I will be doing is, I'm trying to move everything so that it's going to be easy. Yo, we just got our second donation from Nitil. Thank you so much for the 20 rupees. We really appreciate you, and thank you for sticking here with us. And guys, if you like this video, and if you find these videos useful, and if you guys want us to go ahead and do these lives every single day, smash the like button and let's carry on. Okay, now I will be zooming in a bit so that you guys can actually see it. And let's actually write this to 9,000. And yes, we are getting back the hello clever programmers response. So guys, this is actually working. This is looking cool. So let's get, I'm actually going to give you guys a round of applause because you guys deserve it. So if you guys are pumped, and if you guys are with me and you have a working API route, let me know in the chat so that we can actually elevate this thing to a conversation, so it's not going to be like a lecture stuff. Okay, so let's actually engage. I am watching the chat and all the reactions. So let's go ahead and start engaging. Okay, so next up, what we will be doing is pretty much just connect to our database, or actually first we need to set it up, of course. So we will be setting up our database, then we will be connecting to it, and we will start working with our backend. All right, let's do it. So let's actually go to mongodb.com. This is a free NoSQL database, and I actually am here. So let's actually, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. So what I will be doing is pretty much, you guys can go ahead and sign in. This is a free tool that we are going to be using. So this is going to just give us the ability to store data in here, and it's going to be super easy to set up. Now, what we will be doing is create a new project. Then we will name it iMessage Live. Oops. Hello, iMessage Live. And once that's done, we are not going to work with anybody else. So let's actually create the project. And how do you connect the React app with MERN and Node though? That's the thing that we it's called APIs. So it's going to be the API routes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I am going to teach you guys today, and we will actually going ahead and connect it. Okay, now next up, let's go ahead and is there any limit of projects creating in MongoDB? I couldn't reach it. I don't know. So what you guys need to do is pretty much hit this button, this create cluster button. This is going to give you guys 3 options, and you want to go with the far left one because that is free, and that is perfect for today. So next up, you don't need to worry about any of these setups, and just go ahead, and there is actually a create cluster button, which for some reason doesn't appear on the stream, but there it is. Let's go ahead and hit that. It's actually going to take quite a time to set up and provision all the stuff. So in the meantime, let's actually go back here to our code, and let's actually set everything up so that we will need to just paste in the connection URL, and that will do the work for us. Okay. So what we will be doing is pretty much create a const, which is going to be Mongo URI. And next up, what we will be doing is leave it empty, and then what we will be doing is say mongoose.connect, and what we want to do is add the Mongo URI in here, and inside of there we will actually add these properties. This is actually needed for Mongoose because it's still under development, and this is kind of like a transition that they are actually doing. So, oh, Alibaba said, yeah, near 1 million subs. That's right, we are above 800k. Like, yo, that's awesome. Okay, so with that, actually the Mongoose connection is going to be done. And let's see how our database is doing. It still needs a little time. But while that happens, let's actually create our schema for today's build. Okay. So what we will be doing is pretty much say we will just go ahead and create a Mongo data.js file where we will be importing Mongoose, of course. Hey, Mongoose from Mongoose, and then we will be just going ahead and create the iMessage schema. Now, the iMessage schema is pretty much going to consist about a chat name, which is going to be the chat room or the group name. Then inside of there we will have conversation. And inside of there we are going to have a message, a timestamp, and a user, which will have a display name, an email address, a photo, a UID, and yeah, that will be pretty much it. And of course we are going to need to export that, and that's just going to be a mongoose model. Doesn't know it. So mongoose.model, and we will call the collection where we are saving it. So guys, if you know, you remember that when you are using SQL, you guys are using tables, right? But in NoSQL, we are using collections instead of tables, right? Just wanted to clear it out. Okay. Whoa, thank you so much. So 3A101 says, I like Clever Programmer. I gave you guys 12 subscribers by sending to my friends about your channel. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Okay, now what we will be doing is let's go ahead, and we have, guys, 264 concurrent viewers at the moment. So massive shout out to you guys, and I hope you guys are pumped and ready to build the iMessage clone using the MERN stack. So let's actually go ahead and continue building the thing. So we will be naming the collection to conversations, and we will be adding the iMessage schema. Oh damn. So you can just go ahead and copy this and paste it in here, and it will actually work. So what we will be doing next up is pretty much we just need to import this, and the backend is like halfway done, guys. So if you are this far with me, smash the like button, and if you guys are pumped, drop it in the chat. I want to know if you guys are ready to continue. So we will be just importing whoops. So let's actually import Mongo data, and that is pretty much okay. So Mongo data, and here we go. So next up, what we will be doing is go back to mongodb.com. This should be finished by now. And let's actually go ahead and create the database access. Okay, we need to set two more things on MongoDB before we can go ahead and connect to the database. So so let's actually do that right now. So we will need to add a database user, which we will call admin, and we will just need to auto generate a password. That will be done. And guys, you want to go ahead and copy it or store it somewhere safe, because this password is not going to be retrievable anymore. Okay, now with that done, let's go ahead and add the user, and let's go to network access, where we will hit add IP address. And guys, I'm going to allow access from anywhere, but as always, a huge disclaimer: do not do this in production environment, and do not do this especially with clients. So I got a lot of questions, what should we be doing? And my answer for that is pretty much ask your client what is going to be the IP address of that server where it is going to be running, and while you are working on the app, allow access from anywhere, but then turn that off and set the IP address to that only server and your IP address, so that you can literally like have control over that database, and then you will be able to help your client. But when you are running the app on the client server, that's what you want to add to. So now let's go ahead and confirm that and go back to my screen. So confirming, it's actually going to say pending, but we are good. So now what we will be doing next up is pretty much go ahead, go back to clusters and hit the connect button. Do you guys have made any kind of app, website, or game? We might be thinking about that. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it open, okay? Also make a dashboard of iMessage. We can totally do that in one of our future builds, okay? So yeah, especially with the new iOS 14 dashboard, that would be an awesome build. Okay, like the pins, right? That's what you want. That's what you mean. Okay, so let's go back and let's hit actually everybody the connect application. And where is my arrow? There it is. So let's everybody go ahead and hit that connect your app, and there we go. You want to go ahead and copy this line of code and go back to your code, and you will be pretty much inserting this here. You also want to go ahead and type in which DB are you going to be working in. So let's type in iMessage DB, and you want to also go ahead and change the password to the one that you just saved. So hopefully you are either using some productivity tool like I do, which is called Alfred, and it actually saves my clipboard history. But if you guys don't use it, I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and just saves it somewhere safe so that you guys can go ahead and retrieve it. Now, with that said, we actually have a working MongoDB connection. So what we should be able to do is go down here under Mongoose Connect and say mongoose the connection on once and open, and that's when you want to go ahead and fire off a function which will, this is how you fire off a function, and then you want to go ahead and console log db connected. Okay, and now if we go ahead and go back to our terminal where it actually is running, this is oh yeah, I forgot to add the JS over here, and we should be able to see the application running. Yeah, I deleted the D from the end, but the DB is actually connected. So guys, if you guys are with me and if you guys have your MongoDB connected to your application, drop some fire. Let me know in the chat down below if you guys are with me and if you guys are ready to go ahead and continue and start creating our API routes, okay? Okay, now let's go ahead and start building all the APIs, and we will after this we will go ahead and connect it to our front end, and we will be pretty much done. Okay, now we will need quite a few. So first thing first, we will definitely need to create a conversation, right? And that will essentially be like, we go in here and say that on the new /conversation endpoint, we want to go ahead, fire off a function which will save down whatever we send in the body, and that will be our DB data. And the MongoDB will go ahead and create with that, using that data, we want to go ahead and create a new document inside of our collection, right? Let me know if it's clear and if we can move on, and then we will pretty much go ahead and handle any errors that might occur and send back 201, which means created in server language. And with that done, let's actually go ahead and test this out. Okay, wrong direction. So we should be in the new conversation in Postman, and let's actually go into body, and I will just type in here epic CP community. Okay, so that is going to be my chat name, right? And guys, if you don't know why I named that field chat name, let's go back and check out the schema that we just created. Okay, so everything is in connection with everything. This is what I am sending in. Okay, if we are leaving the conversation empty, that's totally okay, because we are not sending a message just yet. Okay, afterwards we will do that, but that's going to be another endpoint. Okay, now with that said, let's go back to the server. Let's go back and create this very conversation. Okay, and we should be seeing the following answer if everything is going correctly. Now guys, let me know if you guys are with me and if you guys are actually following, and if this is actually valuable for to you, and just drop it in the chat if you guys are with me here. And I want to see you guys that you guys are pumped and if you guys are ready to continue and go forward. Okay, I see all the comments coming and going as crazy. Okay, everything is loaded. Yeah, icon says yeah. Okay, and here we go. All right, guys, please do not spam the chat. I will need to put you guys on timeout, and that's not something you want to be in. Okay, so please keep the chat clean. This is a friendly place where everybody is here to learn and to learn actually together. So let's not mess things up. All right, now I don't see. Okay, so how are you going to upload this later? Yeah, we can. Okay, let's actually go ahead and continue. So just drop it, any kind of questions that you guys have. I want to see it in chat. Okay, now with that done, let's continue and let's create. Yeah, my okay, really pumped. That's the energy that I'm talking about. A huge air horn for you guys. All right, and I think okay, boom. Now love and appreciate your work. Thank you so much. We got Arjit, who is super pumped. Yeah, Tommy asks, Mongo creates an ID by default. That is correct. Mongo does it for us so that we don't have to worry about it. It's just like Firebase does, okay? So Firebase is actually doing the same thing, but we are going. It's literally the same stuff. Just Firebase adds it as the name of the document or the collection or whatever, and we are actually going to be using that ID as well. Okay, I can go back. Okay, Rukia dropped some fire. Yes, there we go. Lucy, thanks for all. Of course, my pleasure. And let's actually go ahead and continue with that done. Okay, let's go back to my screen. Does MongoDB has any limitation? Yes, it has, but I mean it's pretty generous, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue, and what we will be doing is let's actually say that we want to save a new message, and what we will be doing is pretty much add another post endpoint, and boom. So we got a question by Priyanshu, and he asks, there might be a question for several, but when to use MongoDB and when to use Postgre and SQL based database. Honestly, always use some NoSQL stuff. Never go for SQL. That's my personal opinion. I hate SQL. There is definitely lots of times when SQL is more efficient and you want to go with SQL, but as much as possible, try to find the reason why not to use SQL, because that's like so much more complicated, and you want to go ahead and just try to keep everything as simple as possible, because then you can work faster, right? And the faster you work, the more clients you can satisfy, and the more clients you satisfy, the more you get paid, and the more you get paid, the more wealthy you are gonna be. So at the end of the day, that's kind of what you're working for, right? And you can have more people. Okay, so and we also got a question from Coder Guy. MongoDB storage limit, 500 megabytes, I think. Okay. Yeah, Jason has also hated SQL. I've never said that, but that's right. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue. So what I pasted in here is a post endpoint, and we will be saying the new message endpoint. That's where we want to go ahead and add all these stuff. And what we will be saying is Mongo data. We want to go ahead and update it. And so we will filter on which ID, which document has the ID that we are going to be passing in as a query, right? So we are actually going to be using this ID that is generated by MongoDB. and we will be using that to filter on any conversation where we will be adding all the new thanks Priyanshu, where we will be adding the new messages, right? So let's go back, and so next up what we will be doing is add into the conversation exactly, that's exactly what I was gonna say, that keep the chat clean. Okay, so next up we will be pushing in the request body into the conversation array. Okay, so we will be passing in the query, the ID as a query. We will be searching which conversation are we going to push a new message to. So with that said, fire off the function and handle any errors that we got. We also want to console log if there is an error saving the message. Wipe with us asks your opinion on PHP. No go. Really a no go. Okay. And what we want to do is like, yeah, handle all the errors that we might get. And also, if everything is correct and done, we want to go ahead and send back the data so that we can check it out. All right, let's go to our lovely Postman, and we want to go ahead and copy this ID and go ahead and paste it in the ID field. And what you want to do is, like, we can literally go ahead and add all these stuff in here. Okay, so we had Rishi with us 2 days back, or it was yesterday. No, it was 2 days back. So we will be using the same photo. All right, so let's send it, and could not send. We just faced a bug, guys. Something is happening. So let's actually see what we got. So what we had is that in here we had the message, we had the timestamp, we had the user, and Mongo data inside of conversation, message, timestamp, user, which is display, email, photo. Whoa, I think it's another kind of problem. So let's see what we had. Let's try to send this again, and this is throwing some kind of error. Could not send error. Oh, connection review. Okay, so this wasn't actually a bug. I just made a mistake of not changing the port. So guys, make sure that you guys are using the correct port, okay? Otherwise you are going to be encountering issues. So with that said, we just got this ugly data back. Don't worry about it, we're not gonna be using it, so it's just a nice thing that we can see. Okay, and let's actually go ahead and continue. So guys, if you are with me, and if you guys could save a message into your MongoDB database as I just could, let me know in the chat. And if you guys are actually finding this video good, and we are at 277 likes, so guys, if you got value out of this video, smash the like button so that we can get this video out there to as many people as possible, and that will help us go ahead and help 5,000 people get jobs as developers, which is our goal for 2020. Okay, all right, now let's go ahead and check the MongoDB out quickly, how it actually looks like. So inside of here we just got a new message. There we go. And let's go ahead and continue building all our endpoints. So what we want to do is pretty much retrieve the conversation list, right? And the other thing that we want to do is retrieve message, all the messages. Okay, so let's do the first one. So let's go ahead and now add a get endpoint. All right, So we will be saying, oops, app.get, and inside of there, we will say the get and conversation list. Oh, okay. So we will say app.get conversation list. We will fire off a function, a callback function, and inside of there, what we will be doing is pretty much just get everything back from all these conversations, and then push back only the data that we will be using on the front end. Okay, so what we will be doing is, of course, we will say mongo data dot find, and we don't want to go ahead and filter out all this stuff. That's not today. So we will say error, and if there's an error, we need to, of course, handle it. And with that done, let's go ahead and handle the error. So we will need a huge if gate, and we will say error, and inside of there, response status is going to be 500 if there is an error, and we will say we will send back the error. Okay, now, as if everything is working perfectly, we want to go ahead and sort the data, right? So that we are getting it back in the correct order. Okay, so we will need to sort the data. Then we will need to create a conversations array, an empty array, and that's what we will be pushing back. Okay, this is literally the stuff that is going to appear over here, right? We are helping our front end to build that thing up, right? Okay, so I don't even know which direction to point. Yeah, so we will have our front end to build this thing up, and we will be passing the relevant stuff here. Okay, now once that's done, we want to go ahead and map through all the data that we got back. So we will say data dot map, and inside of there we will say conversation data, and we will say inside of here we would pretty much just set up the structure that we want to go ahead and send back. So of course we want to send back the ID, we want to send back the name, we want to send back the timestamp, and this is literally where we will be this is how we will be set this up. And once this is done, we want to go ahead and push this info to the conversation array. Okay, so that's pretty much how we set up the stuff that we will be sending back. And then of course, let's go ahead and send this back, right? So hopefully guys, you understood it and everything is working perfectly. So let's actually go ahead and test this thing out. Okay, so conversation list, let's go ahead and check it out. And here we go, guys. This is working. This is awesome. So guys, if you guys are here with me and you guys have this just as I have, then it's a great place to be, and smash the like button and let me know in the chat. Okay, so for what you not recommend Angular is actually a pain in the butt to learn. I just want to throw it out there. I see Skill Room asks about it, but honestly, if you're new to web development, I highly not recommend going with Angular, because this is super hard to learn. But if you already know Angular, let's go, and great job. But yeah, if you wanna work with it, go for it. But always React. Okay. Now, next up, what we will be doing is going back to our code, and we will be just we will be retrieving the conversation. And because Patrick is in love with MERN, that's another reason why I not recommend Angular. Pretty much it. Okay. It would be nice to make an application using sockets and see its usefulness. Yeah, of course, Lucy. Actually, the FaceTime clone is going to use a couple of sockets. It's not going to be using the socket IO. We will still use Pusher because Pusher is so much better. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, what we will be retrieving now is the actual conversation, and it's going to be another get endpoint. And inside of here, we will of course pass the ID in as a query. And once that's done, we will filter on that, okay? So we will be filtering on the ID that we just passed in, and we will just go ahead and retrieve the full conversation. Okay. Matt says, learn whatever the companies in your area want. That's pretty much it. Like literally, that's the best advice. All right. So, but learn React because that's so much better. Okay. And another thing that we want to go ahead and retrieve and help the front end with is pretty much send back the first message, or actually the last message that we have, so that we can actually update this stuff, and the image. Okay. Let's go back and add this endpoint as well. And what we will say in here is just a get last message endpoint. And what we will do is, again, we will be searching it for the query inside of the query. We will also say the Mongo data should find, it should search on the conversation. Yes, but what we will do is just send back the last one, right? So we will sort it so that the newest one is going to be on top, but we want to just send back the first one, which is, remember, this is going to be the number 0. Okay, so in computer science, we start counting from number 0. Okay, now with with that said, I think we should be good with the backend. Okay, so guys, let me know in the chat if you guys are pumped and if you guys are with me and you guys are ready to connect your backend to the front end and have a full MERN stack application and ready to add to your portfolio. Drop some fire, drop some love. Let me know who is here with me and who is ready to continue and actually make this backend stuff, this fully technical stuff, which doesn't have a lovely GUI, and you want to go ahead and connect it to your front end. Okay, now what we will do is pretty much just open up the front end, which we already downloaded, and we can actually close these two files, and let's actually go in here. Now, this is actually literally the code that Sunny built on Friday. And guys, if you don't have it already, link is in the description to this one. Link is in down below, and you guys want to go ahead and clone that project using git clone, and you want to have that over here. Now, another thing I've done with this one is I went ahead and said npmi, which literally means that we are installing all the dependencies. So the uploaded version doesn't contain the folder called node modules, which is, yeah, this one. And the reason for that is actually that this thing, I want to, okay, reveal info. Oh, okay, let's not mess stuff around. So the reason for that, it is around 160 MBs, I think. Yeah, here we go. Okay, it's still calculating the size, so it still doesn't know how much. It's actually a super heavy folder, and it has all the dependencies in there, right? So guys, you can see it, it's crazy amount of data, and you don't want to add it on top of your GitHub. Now, the reason the reason being, you have to go ahead and install all these dependencies. And there is one more that we are going to install right now, and that is called Axios. So we will say npm I Axios, and that will pretty much go ahead and install Axios, and then we will be able to make requests to our backend, right? Is React Native better than C#, C++? Of course it is. Everything which starts with React is better than whatever you want. Okay, and Salsabil asks when to use Angular. My advice on that would be only use Angular if you already know it. If you're new to coding and if you're just starting, don't do it. It's going to be super hard, and it's not going to give you that much success, and you will feel you will not feel that successful as you actually are, because it's just super hard to learn. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend using that. Okay, now let's go back to our I'm not gonna use that anymore. And what we want to do now is pretty much first install our Firebase, or actually connect it to our Firebase, because that's how we can go ahead and deploy it. Now I got this question, are we going to build a clone using React Native? Yes, we are. We have it planned. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to firebase.com. Firebase, google.com actually. And if you guys don't know Firebase already, it's a suite of tools by Google, and we will be using that today to host our application. Now, this actually is capable of a lot of stuff, and I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and learns how to use it, or just go to one of Sunny's sessions and you will pretty much be able to learn it. So we will just say iMessage clone, and that will be it. I don't need no analytics today, and that will actually go ahead and provision all the resource and get everything set up for us. And Firebase is actually super easy to use, so that's part of the reason that we are using it. Now, I am also going to open up an instance of the front-end application that we have, and it's just going to run, and we will be able to see it hot reloading. Okay, so by the time my iMessage clone project is ready, and here we go. Now, where is my, oh, okay, yeah, because 3000 is, okay, it's running. Okay, now what I will do is go in here and wait for the project to start. Okay, it takes a little time, but eventually it will be there. Now, next up, what we would do is pretty much hit this web icon. Oh, could have used a better color. So hit this web icon, and when we will build a Firebase clone, actually a good idea. And Alexandros asks, why not host on Netlify? That's actually, it's like personal preference, right? So let's go ahead and hit the web icon and go ahead and type in iMessage clone. And you want to also check the setup Firebase hosting. Next up, you want to go ahead and register your app, then say next, continue to console. That's pretty much how we set up our application in Firebase. That's the reason that we love it so much, that it is super easy to use, and yeah, that's it. All right, now next up, what we will be doing is go here to this settings icon over there, and what we will be doing is say project settings and go down here, hit config, and pretty much copy all the stuff in between the parens. Delete the comment that I just deleted over here. So you guys could see that this was here, so I just went ahead and deleted this, and that will pretty much just set up all the Firebase stuff that we will need. Now with that done, we can close this file up, and next up what we will open is going to be the sidebar.js file. Now there is a nice little keyboard shortcut which is Command P on Mac. If you guys use Windows, any of our Windows buddies in the chat, please help us out, which is the equivalent for Command P in VS Code. And I will be I will be saying we will go into sidebar.js. Now inside of here we have a lot of lovely stuff which is prepared by Sunny. But this time we are not going to be using that. In fact, we are actually going to delete those stuff. Now, guys, who is here from any of these MERN transformation sessions who has actually done these stuff? Let me know, guys. I want to communicate with you because right now it's just a yes. Alexandro says Control P, awesome. So right now it's more like feels like a lecture, but guys, I want to communicate with you, so let's go ahead and everybody drop in the comments if you guys have used this these stuff that we are going to be using, if you guys have already a MERN stack application on your portfolio, or if you guys actually have worked with it. So Radu Mihai says yes, or actually me, yeah, thanks so much, brother. Okay, we got another Control P. So yeah, that's actually lovely that you guys are ready to help out each other. So next up, what we will be doing is pretty much, oh my god, we almost have 200 people at the same time watching here. Elias says I have 5. I think that's the MERN project. That's actually awesome, brother. That's crazy. This goes out for you. So great job, and let's use these free builds to put that on your portfolio and win a job in 2020. Mahe says already done. Done 7 clones. Thanks, CP team. Thank you so much, brother, for trusting in us and actually giving us the privilege to help you get a job, because definitely you will get a job very, very soon. Okay, sounds cool. So next up, what we will be doing is go back to this screen. And what about Firebase functions? We will use them too, but those are like not part of the MERN stack, so we are doing it differently. Okay, now Rahul says love the setup, David. Actually, I think you were the one who added a pull request to one of my starter projects. Guys, if you are if you guys can add actual value without completing the starter project, feel free to do that. And we just got another lovely donation by Wafi Mohammed. Thanks for the hard work, brother. Thank you so much for staying here with us and being here with me. And actually, I really hope that you are getting value out of this, and we really appreciate you, brother. So yeah, hope that you will have a job very, very soon as a developer. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and inside of here, okay, let's go ahead and add a new function in here, and we will pretty much just say that let's go to the get conversation list endpoint, and let's get the response. And next up, yo, what's up? And next up, what we will do is set the chats to the data that we are actually getting back. Now, you guys can actually see that we got this Axios stuff going on, and this is going to be freaking out because we haven't imported it. But the reason for that is that we haven't actually set up our Axios instance. So with that said, let's actually go ahead and do that super quickly. So what we will do is, what we will do is go into here add a new file which we will call axios.js. And what we want to do, because we already have installed, yeah, it's freaking out. So we already have installed somewhere around here. Yeah, here it is. So we already have installed Axios. Let's actually go ahead and import it. So we will import Axios from Axios. Axios, there we go. And we will also go ahead and create an instance, which is going to be Axios create. And next up, the base URL comes, and I always mess this up with this abbreviation, but don't worry, guys. And what we will do is pretty much just say that the base URL, which we are going to be calling, is literally the literally going to be where our application is running on. So what we will say is http colon dash / and localhost and 9000, because that's the port where we are running in the local environment. Now, next up, we would just want to go ahead and export everything, and instance, there we go. And guys, literally that creates our Axios instance, and that's pretty much it. So you guys can go ahead and pretty much start importing this. And I just want to answer this question, that which is the best platform for freelancing. And I would actually say, if you are starting up, either freelancer.com or Fiverr, that's like a good playground. And then when you're ready to roll, let's go to Upwork. Okay, now do you use ESLint? Yeah, I think so. HTTP Alexandros, because this is actually local, and once we are going to be deploying, so when it's deployed, then we are going to be HTTPS, but in the local environment it doesn't really matter. And we also got the nice lovely donation from Kelvin. Thank you so much, brother. I actually remember you from a lot of these videos and lives and all that. You have such a great energy, and we really appreciate you, brother, that you are here with us and dropping these awesome donations. So huge shout out for you, and thank you so much for staying here, and this goes out to you. Okay, next up, what we will be doing is, yeah, we got the instance exported and don't need that anymore. And inside of here, what we want to go ahead and do is say import, and we will import the Axios from here, and we will say Axios. That will pretty much import everything for us. And let's actually delete all the Firebase stuff. I'm sorry, Sonny, if you're here. This is it. And we will just go ahead and use that function to actually get all the chats. Now, this will refresh every single piece, every single chat room, and this will actually go ahead and render out everything. Hey, Kevin. Of course, brother. Thank you so much for staying here with us, and yeah, love you, brother. Okay, next up, what we will be doing is inside of here, down below, where we're gonna go ahead and render out the sidebar chat. I'm actually gonna remove on the left bar. So this is not actually how the data structure is in our case, but we still want to go with the destructured version. So what we will do is pretty much replace this data stuff to this timestamp, right? And we also want to change the chat name to name, because that's how we actually retrieve it. Now, what we will do is next up, we also need to change the props. So we need to pass in the key, of course, which is going to be the ID that we have. And we also want to pass it as the ID as well. We want to pass in the chat name, which is the actual name. And we also want to pass in the timestamp. Now, just a quick question. Difference between Fetch and Axios. As far as I know, Axios is like more professional. I don't exactly know the perfect difference or the gap analysis between those, but as far as I know, Axios is more professional and easier to use, and I like Axios a bit better. So that's definitely a difference. Yeah. Will you care about the API, the security for a REST API? Not this time, but we can definitely do a different session where we will only focus on security and all that stuff. But because I want to keep it super short, that you guys can get the most value out of this video the fastest possible time. I want to keep it under 2 hours. Okay, now Papa React loves Firebase, David loves Node.js. That's right, that's actually right. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's check out on the sidebar chat what we have there. So yeah, and inside of here we also have a lot of Firebase things going on. So what we will be doing is pretty much say we will replace these stuff again, of course, and we will just add an other function which will be get sidebar element. Okay, and that will literally go ahead and go to this endpoint, pass in the ID as a query because it's after the question mark, right? And oh yeah, oh, but Axios by default converts data into JSON. Actually that's right, and I didn't even notice that. Like I said, Axios is more pro. Okay, that's actually a great info. I love that. Oh, okay. Axios is basically a layer on top of Fetch. We are all learning, guys, here. Like I said, we are all learning. And what PC am I using? I'm not actually using a PC. I'm using a MacBook. Okay. Now let's go ahead and drop out all the Firebase stuff that was going on in here. This worked perfectly, but we are just gonna get rid of it because we are gonna be using something else. And this is where the real-time stuff will go. Okay, real-time stuff later on. You guys need to stay here and be here with me until I am dropping and teaching you guys how we actually make it real time, because we are going to make this application real time. So guys, if you are pumped about that, let me know in the description, in the chat. And oh my god, I didn't even notice, but we crossed 300 likes. Thank you so much, guys. This is going out for you. So thank you so much, guys. And we actually have above 218 concurrent viewers on all the live platforms where I'm at. So with that done, let's go ahead and let's actually, I think this should be working now. Now, the other thing we need to work on is going to be in the chat.js file. So let's go there. And what we need to import here is, of course, it's going to be the Axios. So let's go ahead and import Axios from Axios. But guys, notice that so there is a little bit of difference. I want to add this to here. So I want, yeah, and so let's please actually everybody go ahead and check these two lines for just a bit of a time. So this one and that one. So this is actually importing this file, while this one is importing the dependency. So guys, I want you guys to understand what's the difference between these two. Now on the right hand side, we are actually importing the Axios package, and on the left hand side, we are importing the instance that we created on the right hand side using the package. Okay, I really hope that cleared it up, but I just remember getting a lot of questions regarding this topic. Why is there a dot and a slash, and why isn't there on the other side? Like, yeah, so I just wanted to clear it out. Okay, I don't know if I've imported it in here. Of course I haven't. Here we go. Now let's go ahead and save this. Chat saved, cool. And we also have like crazy amount of Firebase things going on, but we will be replacing those stuff with a nice little chat thing. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and we are actually getting the conversation and going to go to this endpoint where, oh yeah, Kelvin says it's a super helpful breakdown. Thank you so much. I really hope it cleared up. Let's do it. Says I don't understand anything, brother. Drop me a message and I'm happy to help you understand everything. But were you actually paying attention? Okay, now with that done, so let's go back here. So ID is going to be the chat ID, of course. Then we want to go ahead and use the response and actually set the chat. So we want to go ahead and inside of the we want to go ahead and get the conversation and save it. Okay. That's exactly right. That's right. That's all right. Okay. All right, now we want to go ahead and get rid of all the Firebase stuff, and we will just go ahead and add these things. Oops, there's so much cable going on my desk that I need to learn cable management. If anybody knows a course on cable management, let me know. So I've just added the get conversation function in here, and I'm calling this function, which will go ahead and grab all the conversation data for me, and we'll set the messages to the data that we actually get back. And because the data structure requires that, this is how we actually save it. So let's do it. Actually asks if I have any recommendations for JavaScript beginners. What I would recommend is going ahead and searching up searching up our YouTube, because we are dropping crazy amount of free content for you guys, like the 8-hour JavaScript course, the React basics, and we have all this stuff going on. And if you guys enjoy that, let's go ahead and build all the clones that we have, and pretty much that would be it. So yeah, okay. Okay. Oh damn. Cable management. Thanks, Samar. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You can follow Clever Programmer videos on JavaScript and other yeah. Let's go ahead and check out Clever Programmer's YouTube channel. That's crazy amount of value for you guys. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and we still have 180 people here with us. Huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for staying here with me. I highly appreciate everybody who is here and enjoying this, and just smash the like button if you like this video. Okay, now next up, and probably one of the last things that we want to do is first actually, yeah, we also want to go ahead and create a send message endpoint, and that just goes on right under here. So we also of course send this message. This is the structure that we are actually going to be using. Then we are deleting whatever is in the input. Next up, yeah, that's pretty much it. And we can, and one more thing though, which I always forget, is you need a new table and your monitor is wobbling. I could be right. Okay, that's right. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, but actually it's the monitor. So now let's go ahead and create an oh my god, this is super awesome. Okay, thank you. So what we will do is pretty much just add another API call where we will go ahead and create a new conversation. So that will pretty much be like a this one. So this is going to actually be a longer one, so I will just add this snippet of code. I have it ready, so I will just drop this snippet of code here for you guys, and this is going to be essentially the same add chat that we have up here. So let's get rid of that for now. And what this does is literally this actually requires 2 parameters, because otherwise this would make the whole build super long. So we need to have the chat name first, then we will get the first message, because we need to send the first message at the same moment, because otherwise it will make just the whole build super complicated. And once we got both of them, we want to go ahead and create a new conversation, right? Chat name, perfect. And we want to add, we want to actually store down the ID from the response, and at the exact same moment, let's actually make it look like this. And let's actually add a new message right into that exact same conversation that we just created. Otherwise, it will go ahead and freak out and some stuff is going to crash. But because we are handling it this way, it's going to make the whole thing super easy and smooth. Okay, with that said, I think we are ready to test this app out. Now, where it is? First, I need to find the app. I don't even know where we are. No, not this one. I think we are running on localhost 3002. So let's actually, or maybe 301. Woo! Okay, so we have a couple of stuff going on in here. And yeah, because I added this part, which saves down the last message, we need to define all these we need to define all these use states, which is actually going to be super fast. Let's go ahead and add in the last message, last photo, and last timestamp. These are I wonder if there is a React fundamental video at your channel without using Zoom. Yes, there is. We just dropped it, I think, last Wednesday or something. Sometime last week. It's actually a 12-hour long video going into the nitty-gritty, okay? I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and watches that. Okay. That's literally our goal, so that we can provide these information for you guys for free. Pretty much it. Okay, and let's go ahead. So with these states done, we can pretty much set everything up, and that will actually go ahead and work perfectly. Now we also okay, I forgot to add the bug feature. Okay, so we are actually facing some bugs, but we are going to go ahead and debug everything. So guys, if you're with me, we are gonna go ahead and debug stuff, because backend development is just with a lot of bugs. So we got the send message has already been defined and declared. Yeah, so the problem with that is yeah, so I forgot to delete Sunny's code on the send message function, but this way we should be good on that part. And there we go, guys. We debugged every. Oh, I forgot to share my screen. Oh damn. Okay, so I will go ahead and Command Z back everything. So I undid all the stuff. So this is the code I forgot to delete. Now I'm going ahead and literally select it and delete, and with that done, we should be able to go back, and now it should be working. There we go, guys. We have it working, and that's it. Okay, let's set back the colors behind me, and okay. Sonny is angry now. He is actually not angry. Okay. But yeah, we are removing Firebase. Yeah. Okay. So now there is actually a lovely comment I want to save for myself. So what I will do is go ahead and sign in here. Vibe with Us asks, what is my opinion on PHP? Okay, so first, let's answer the question, what is my opinion on PHP? No go, no way. I wouldn't go that route. And the other thing which we need to do before this issue goes away is pretty much just go back to Firebase, go to authentication, and what you guys will need to do is pretty much just hit this setup sign-in method, and just go ahead, hit Google, add your email address in there. Thank you so much, brother, from Facebook, and you want to go ahead and save it, and nicely done. We should be able to fix this stuff now. What we will be doing is say, let's go ahead, sign in. And guys, we still have 156 people with us. Let's go, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. And yeah, okay, now we should be able to log in, and yes, here we are. Now what? Oh my god, we got the epic CP community inside of here, and it's going to freak out because yeah, the data that we have in here is just not compatible. So what I'm going to do is delete this whole thing and go back to my app. Now because we are using Redux, we are not we don't get logged out. So what I will be doing is add the chat name, and I will say epic CP community, and say okay. Now it wants a welcome message from me, so I say, hey guys, oops, hey guys, fire, and okay, and nothing happens. But this is okay because this is not real time just now. So let's go ahead and let's see what do we got in MongoDB. So let's refresh. It actually shows that we have an epic CP community here, and we also have this message working. So there we go, guys. Massive shout out to everybody who is at this point with me, and let me know if you are one of them, and if you have if you were able to create a create an app which actually is able to save down the new message, right? Let me know, guys, in the chat if you guys are with me and if you guys are pumped to continue. All right, let's actually add this effect. 300 days ago, I would make API requests every 1 second to make my app